Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and welcome back to Talk the Wall. This is the 21st installment. Before we get right into your responses and any questions you may have had, if you haven't seen any of the other 20 installments, then why not go check them out? There is going to be a link in the description of this video for the last Talk the Wall video, or if you would like to access the playlist, why not click the I button so you can catch up on all that you have missed. But as always, if you have any questions or opinions, do feel free to put them in the comments section of this video, as I want a Millwall voice throughout. And before we get into this, put your score predictions for the AFC Wimbledon game, which is tonight, or the Bury game at the weekend in the comments section, but do specify which one you're predicting on if you don't predict on both of those. And also, feel free to add your opinions of what you felt went right and wrong in those matches. And do bear in mind, I record this on a Monday, so if anything has become outdated or if any new news stories have appeared, then I'll cover them next week in my next Talk the Wall. So let's take a look at your predictions for this week, and we'll start with the closest predictor, and he was Joe Conway. He said the game would end 1-1 and Webster would score, as he hasn't got one in a while. And to be honest, he wasn't fairly far off this goal scoreline, was he? And it'd be hard to actually predict against your own team, so I kind of understand why he predicted the way he did. The next two actually predicted the same scoreline. These were Elite Shee and Billy Gibson. They both said that they thought the game would end 2-1, but Billy also added the scorers would be Smith and Gregory in the second half. He also said, who needs Marcus Rashford when there's Harry Smith? And the final person to predict was Joe Holloway. He said that the score would end 3-2 to the Lions, with Smith grabbing 2 of the goals and Fred getting the other. And to be fair, if we had have won it, I reckon it would have been in this sort of dramatic fashion. So I kind of would have expected that if we had gone on to win it. Obviously, we do have a very poor record against Bolton, not beating them in quite a while now. Let's take a look at your comments, and the first one comes from Elite Shee saying his line on his kit has peeled off. So this was to do with the ongoing question of the condition of the Millwall kit. And well, on my personal experience, I haven't actually worn the kit yet. I only got this Saturday and soon will wear it, so I can keep you updated on my progress with that. But obviously, as long as you can go to the shop and get them to swap it in, then that should be fine. But I don't really know the logistics of that, to be honest, but just have to see how it goes, obviously. And then the second commenter was Harry CD saying Jamie Philpott has returned from loan now, and on Monday he scored for the under-23s but also picked up an injury. By the way, happy birthday. So first and foremost, thank you very much for that birthday message. And with regards to the Jamie Philpott thing here, this information was literally announced about an hour after I recorded that last week. So thank you for letting me know either way. And well, you've covered it in a bit more information than I did at that point. And I also got another birthday message, this time off of Red Army TV Vlogs. So cheers for that. And it was a great day despite Millwall losing, which, to be brutally honest, I did expect it to happen. The final comment was from MFC Tube 1885, and he said Smith didn't look particularly good in the air versus Rovers. Now, I am going to have to disagree with this one here, because his height kind of just made it look much better, a bit more natural for him. Whereas it kind of looks forced from Steve Morrison. I mean, what do you agree? Do you agree with that, or do you think, again, he's just not good enough? Who do you think's better in the air, actually, I should say? Morrison or Smith? Put that there. What do you guys reckon? Let me know. Could be quite interesting to see whether you like the new guy, Harry Smith, or the continuous Millwall player, Steve Morrison. Let's have a look at this week's Loan Watch. And with Jamie Philpott returning from Millwall, we only have 2 players out on loan. The first is Cowan-Hall. He featured for Wickham in their 2-1 win against Cambridge United. However, he was subbed off in the 74th minute and didn't score or assist in that game. And the other player was David Ford. He conceded as Portsmouth drew 1-1 with Cheltenham Town. Millwall's game this week was obviously against a team I really dreaded, Bolton Wanderers, because we don't have a great recent record against them, and we did struggle against them only a month ago. This one ended with a 2-0 win to them, and to be honest, Harry Smith was one of our key players in an otherwise grim game for us, as Lee Gregory got injured, meaning both of our experienced strikers are out for some time, and well, we really need them at this point in the game, or season should I say. And well, the goals we conceded, they were both really sloppy, to be honest. It's really upsetting to be going back into the stage where we're conceding sloppy goals, and I'm just hoping it is a one-off. We lacked a lot in this game, but it's hard to say whether this will actually affect our season or not, because we just didn't really do too much in this game. But obviously we'll have to find out when we play AFC Wimbledon and Bury in the upcoming 2 games. It has now come to that time in the podcast where we cover the Millwall news, and our first story of the day is that Lee Gregory is going to be sidelined after getting subbed off against Bolton Wanderers at the weekend. Now, I don't know how long he'll be out for. He may only be a couple of days, but I do know that it was a back spasm as he had to get subbed off in our most recent game, which it's really unfortunate, but we got to hope that he just gets back as soon as possible, not rushing him back because that could make his injury worse. And then the next news is that Jamie Philpott came to us again after this 28-day loan had expired with Bromley. It has really already been covered with Harry CD, but he played with the under-23s against Cardiff, and well, he got an injury. It's said to be an ankle injury, just extending on the information we already knew. This next piece of news comes from Welling United, as they've signed 2 of our youth team players on loan. They are Harry Gerling and Rian Bray. They have gone out on a 1-month loan and will get some professional experience. And coincidentally, both actually played as they lost 3-1 to Hampton and Richmond Borough. On the topic of younger youthful players, Millwall have been fined for breaching the rules in the Checkatrade trophy. Yes, you know that trophy. Yeah, not many people really pay attention to it. But what's happened here is we've started and used too many younger players than what we're supposed to. Now, what I mean by that is the rule that we haven't paid attention to, for say, is that 5 of the starting lineup must have started the previous or following game. And well, Millwall have been fined £3,000 for that. But I'm not going to lie, we're not the only side that's facing a lot of this, as Luton and Portsmouth have both got fined £15,000 each. Despite that, we did win every single game by still using our younger players, and Millwall can appeal for this, but they haven't actually said whether they will or won't. It's probably best to keep that on a lowdown and see what happens with that one. This final piece of news comes from Neil Harris as he talks transfer rumours and transfers to do with Millwall. He says he isn't paying attention to rumours about his players because it's simple. If he wants a player to stay, he will make sure they stay, and likewise with leaving as well. He said it's normal for football rumours to be circling due to players' form, but he says his team is for the future, so he will do what he can do to keep it that way. Adding on what he talked about with Millwall transfers situation, he said that he will be signing and selling players in January to address areas that require some reinforcement. He added, we don't know until January whether it will be loan players or permanent signings, but we do know it is needed in some areas. With Hutch and Morrison injured, it seems like this is forced due to our luck with injuries. We are one of the only teams in the league who has not got any loan players, so chances are we'll be getting some of those, as has been proven to work for other clubs, but do expect some change in the next transfer window. So that is all we've got time for today at least, guys. Do feel free to put your questions and opinions in the comment section for the next Talk the Wall. However, before I go, don't forget to put your score predictions for the AFC Wimbledon game tonight. Yes, Paul Robinson is returning to the 10. Let me know your predictions for that one and the Bury game in the comments section, as next week I'll be covering them and highlighting the good and bad points. So also tell me what you think of Millwall's performances in that game. So like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will see you guys next week for the next Talk the Wall. But until then, goodbye.